The world has no idea who its real enemy is. Men fight men, nations fight for power, and ideologies tear the earth apart. But the true war is older than any empire. The same spirits that corrupted creation before the flood still move among us today. They've traded idols of stone for systems of control, temples of blood for digital altars that feed on our time, our minds, and our children. The world calls it progress. Scripture calls it principalities, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:10 through 13 says, "Finally, my brothers, be strong in Yahweh and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim, that you may stand against the schemes of the adversary. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, the rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places." Every war has intelligence. To stand in this one, we have to know the enemy, what it is, where it came from, and how it still moves through our world today. To find that trail, we go back to the first time in Scripture where it names these unseen beings. The first trace of these entities appears in Deuteronomy 32:17. They sacrificed to demons, not to Elohim, to gods they had not known, new ones that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Moses wasn't describing superstition. He was identifying the real spiritual powers behind idolatry. The Hebrew word shadim, restless, malevolent beings, hiding behind religion and ritual. Centuries later, Psalm 106:37 exposes the same pattern. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to the demons. Child sacrifice to Moloch and Baal was not symbolic. It was a transaction with these spirits for influence, harvest, and power. Nothing has changed, only the altars. By the time the Messiah walked the earth, the reality of demons was common knowledge. In Mark 1:23 through 27, it says, "And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, 'Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Yahshua of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of Elohim.' And Yeshua rebuked him, saying, 'Be quiet and come out of him.' And when the unclean spirit had convulsed him and cried out with a loud voice, it came out of him. And they were all amazed, insomuch that they questioned among themselves, saying, 'What is this? A new teaching with authority? He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him.'" Three truths stand out in these passages. First, everyone in the synagogue understood what unclean spirits were. This was no new idea. Second, the possessed man was inside a house of worship, showing that religion itself offers no immunity. Third, the demon recognized the Messiah's authority and its own coming destruction. Throughout the Gospels, about 10 direct encounters are recorded, and at least 9 summaries describing many or multitudes delivered from demons. The message is unmistakable. The Messiah's authority over the demonic realm was not occasional. It was total and constant. But what exactly are these beings? The scriptures name them, but never define their origin. For that, we have to examine the record preserved in the ancient text known as the Book of Enoch, a document once read by prophets, quoted by apostles, and treated as scripture before it was removed from the Western canon. Long before church councils and creeds, the Book of Enoch circulated among Israel. Fragments of it were found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. It was preserved in Ethiopia and quoted openly by Jude and Peter. For the early believers, Enoch was not legend. It was history. Only later did Rome declare it forbidden, calling it dangerous, because it exposed the origin and destiny of the powers that rule this world. Enoch's record expands what Genesis 6 only hints at. In the days of Jared, 200 celestial beings called the Watchers descended onto Mount Hermon. Their leader, Samyaza, and his chief, Azazel, made a pact to corrupt creation. They took human wives, produced hybrid offspring known as the Nephilim, and taught mankind the arts of war, sorcery, enchantment, and vanity. Through this unholy alliance came bloodshed, deception, and technology that served rebellion instead of righteousness. The giants grew violent, devouring the earth's resources and turning against mankind. Their bodies perished in the flood, but their spirits remained, neither angel nor human, and unable to die. 1 Enoch 15:8-12 explains what became of them. The spirits of the giants shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. From that moment forward, these disembodied hybrids became what we now call demons, restless, malevolent, and forever bound to the earth. They crave embodiment. They seek flesh. They are not the fallen angels themselves. Those were imprisoned. They are the offspring spirits, wandering until the day of judgment. 1 Enoch 16:1 records, "The spirits of the giants shall oppress, corrupt, and incite the earth until the day of their consummation." The Messiah confirmed the same truth in Matthew 12:43-45. When an unclean spirit goes out of a man, it walks through dry places, seeking rest and finds none. These entities still roam those dry places, geographical and spiritual, searching for hosts. In ancient times they hid behind idols of stone and blood. Today they operate through ideology, entertainment, and the digital web that binds nearly every human's mind. They adapt, but their purpose has never changed: corruption, occupation, and control. They are the intelligence behind systems of perversion and deception. They whisper through algorithms, the headlines, and the voices that tell mankind to abandon the commandments of the Most High. This is the enemy Scripture says we wrestle against: unseen, relentless, and ancient. The enemy's origin is ancient, but their defeat is written. When the Messiah walked among men, he didn't debate demons, he commanded them. He spoke and they fled. That authority didn't end with him, it was transferred to those who follow him. In Matthew 10:1, he gave them authority over unclean spirits, to cast them out and to heal all kinds of sickness and disease. Luke 9:1-2 confirms it. He gave them power and authority over all demons. And when 70 disciples returned from their mission, they reported, "Master, even the demons are subject to us through your name." The Messiah answered, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." It was a report of a commander watching his adversary lose ground. Every act of obedience pushes that fall further. And his commission continues. In Mark 16:17, it says, "These signs shall follow those who believe. In my name they shall cast out demons." The power here isn't mystical, it's judicial. Across the Gospels, the word used for this authority is exousia, a legal right delegated from a higher command. It's not raw strength, it's jurisdiction to act in the King's name, or in this case, the Messiah's. Those who stand in his name and keep his commandments carry that right. Those who compromise it lose it. In Acts 16, Paul confronted a spirit of divination. He didn't negotiate, he commanded, "I charge you in the name of Yahshua the Messiah, come out." The spirit obeyed. The same name still carries that same force, but authority requires alignment. James 4:7 reminds us, "Submit yourselves therefore to Elohim, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." The order of that command matters. Submission comes first, because authority flows from alignment. You can't resist an enemy you still serve. Many try to fight darkness while living in disobedience, and the result is always the same: exhaustion, defeat, and deception. Submission is not weakness, it's rank. It's the act of coming under the commander's authority, so his command power operates through you. Only then does resistance have effect, because now the order is lawful. Resistance without submission is rebellion. It carries no authority, only noise. But submission joined with obedience becomes dominion. It's not just standing against evil, it's forcing evil to retreat. That's how the early believers turned cities upside down. They weren't negotiating with spirits, they were enforcing the Messiah's jurisdiction. And that jurisdiction still stands today for those who remain under his command. Ephesians 1:19-22 says, "We are raised with the Messiah, seated far above principalities and powers." That is the believer's position, above these powers, not beneath. Every unclean spirit knows it, which is why deception is their first weapon. If they can make you forget who you are, they win without a fight. Look around at this generation. The same spirits of the Nephilim now drive addiction, confusion, and self-worship. What began in the days of Jared now manifests through the machines of men. They work through screens, systems, and science that denies the Creator. They whisper through artificial intelligence in synthetic flesh, preparing vessels for the return of the Watcher's technology. The unclean spirits still seek bodies, and in the age of synthetic life and digital consciousness, new hosts are being prepared. For now, remember this: the war is spiritual, the command is eternal. Stand in obedience, speak truth, fear none but Yahweh. And remember this: greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. If this report strengthened you, share it. Each share wakes another soldier. Each truth weakens the darkness. And for daily intel, visit libertysoldiers.com/news